This is a story about Jasper, its food bank, and its board chair, Megan.
I came in not knowing anything, and I think the biggest thing I've learned is that we don't always know a person's situation. We tend to make judgments about people based on very little. So if somebody comes to a food bank, I've learned the value of just accepting that they would only be here if they needed it.
And in the last few years, they've been really needing it.
2022, 2023, we just saw a massive increase in our numbers. A very busy winter. We were breaking records every single week.
And not the good kind.
In the spring, we sat down as a board and looked at the numbers, the cost of food.
And things weren't adding up. Then it got much worse.
Well, it was July 22nd. We were evacuated from Jasper because of an approaching fire. And on July 24th, that fire hit its peak and wiped out, I guess, 30% of our town. We found out that we had lost our home and that many of our friends had lost their homes. And it was also when we found out that we lost the food bank. Before the fire, we operated out of the gorgeous Jasper Anglican Church. The church itself was absolutely spectacular, from the outside and the inside. And this is the church building, and right next to it was the hall. And in the basement of the hall is where we ran the Jasper Food Bank out of for years. So this is what's left of the historic and beautiful church. A big loss. That was a very difficult week. I mean, it's been a very difficult summer for Jasper. The town will never be the same. At that moment in time, the big thing was this community is a community in need, and we are an organization that helps people.
So that's what they did.
No matter what happened to you personally in this wildfire, your life has been disrupted in one way or another. It's incredible that people in such a difficult time would step outside of their own personal situation to help the rest of the community.
One of those people was the food bank's sole employee, Blaine.
I put my resume in about 20 hours before evacuation.
She got the job, and it was a big one. It started by finding a temporary space to work out of, and the Royal Canadian Legion stepped up, like they always do.
I think they're sacrificing quite a bit. They've got hallways full of stuff that would normally be in this room. We feel very lucky to be able to kind of take over this big room and get our donations in here.
The support for the food bank since the fire has been tremendous.
Food Banks Alberta stepped in a big way. They kind of reached out and have said, what do you need?
I mean, what didn't they need? But staff, volunteers, and donors all stepped up, and the food bank was up and running.
It's incredible that we have this space and we're up and running, and we're kind of starting to feel semi-normal. So our next challenge is getting our permanent location.
And that's where ATCO jumped in, because Albertans.
We're very excited to get into the new spot. It's gonna feel like ours.
I also feel very fortunate that, I'm not happy that the whole town is dealing with this, but there's a real sense of community and a sense of togetherness that we get to do this as a group. All eyes are on Jasper right now, and I think we're stepping up and showing what community we are every single day. And I think that Jasper is a shining example right now. And I know that as a community, we'll get through this together.
Because together is the very best way to get through it. This holiday season, support your fellow Albertans. And if you're able, help us fill our fleet in support of local food banks.